seems there's no end to the shootings and killings in Westbury. This as more shootings have hit the area. Residents say police deployments, including the Amaberete, have disappeared from the area. On Tuesday, an 18-year-old boy was shot dead, sparking fears of more violence in the area. Reporter Manqoba Mchunu is on the ground and joins us now with the very latest. Good morning, Manqoba. So it seems it's back to square one in Westbury after so many promises.
Well, certainly, Mfundo, and in fact, that's what residents here are telling us, that they're really losing hope in the police, more especially given the fact that just 2 weeks ago, the police minister was here in this community again making promises about police deployment here in the area. You recall, of course, Mfundo, that when the minister was here, there was an imbizo that was held with the community, where he also introduced the teams of police, the deployment that he had said are going to be here in this particular area to ensure that there's stability following the violence that we saw in the days leading to that imbizo. But residents telling us, Fundo, that the police are nowhere to be seen now. In fact, they're saying that, you hardly see a police van here in this community. In fact, I can tell you that since we arrived here, we haven't seen any of those deployments here. And the minister at the time had said that there will be 69 of those officers that will be here, including the members of the anti-gang unit, the tactical response team, as well as public order policing, and a team of detectives that was really going to look at the violence that is here in this community, the drug-related violence and the gang issues in this particular community. But community members saying that since that has happened, the police have now disappeared, and in the interim there has been shootings that have taken place in this area, 2 of them since the police minister was here in this community. And in fact, the recent one, Fundo, happened just 2 days ago, where an 18-year-old boy was shot and killed just meters away from where we are. And again, community members are telling us that they now fear for their lives. But I'm joined now by one of the community leaders, Jefferson Johnson. Jefferson, first of all, are the police here? Are you seeing them? What's happening with the police deployments?
Firstly, let me say, yes, I do see there's a lot of police that's in the area, but it's become a fashion show. So they drive around in their gear, they drive around in the cars that they have, but not doing anything. For me, it's become. Remember, we had the promise of having police in the area since 2018. And when they deploy for 3 months. But since this recent deployment of it's only 2 weeks, and you have shooting again in the area, that to me doesn't make any sense. So what's the use the police is here? If by any means the minister could explain to us what was the reason for deployment when there is still shooting. When I called the cops the other day with regards to the shooting that took place, as a matter of fact, I had to phone the brigadier to get them to come out to the scene. As a matter of fact, they drove in and immediately they drove out. So they didn't go and find out what was happening and all that. They went and then they came back the second time and left again. So for me, that is a major problem, because that simply means that the police is not doing their... as opposed to what I spoke the last time, the last interview we had, I sang their praises because I saw what they were doing. But at this current moment, no. There's nothing that they are doing in the...
Are these teams, those still here in this community? The tactical response team, do you still see those teams here? And because the reason I'm asking this is because many people saying that they're not seeing them here.
No, I do. I won't lie to you. I see them. I see that you have the berets driving around in the area. You have the anti-gang that's here. There's also Safari Town is parading. There's also different deployments from different police stations that's in the area that I do see. And like they stop. Randomly they stop and they do searches. However, at the same time, when they do these searches, do they walk around? No, because they don't know the area. At least send some people to let them walk around in the area. And also, please don't let them leave at 10. Let them remain, because this morning at 2 o'clock, they were shooting again in the area. I was sleeping, but people had called me at that time of the morning saying that they're still shooting in the area.
So the police are here, but you're saying that you're not seeing exactly what it is that they're doing in terms of stopping the crime that is happening here in this community. But are community members feeling any safer?
Certainly not. Certainly not. If I can still say, one, there's still a lot of dealing in the area. There's still a lot of dealing. If they do find people, sometimes they hit them innocently. they beat them up innocently. That's what the police do. They beat you up innocently. However, at the very same time, the deployments for me doesn't work because of the fact that, you know, if you see a lesser dealing of drugs in the area, if you see that there's less shooting, then you must know that there's something happening. But I want these drug shops to close at the end of the day, because this is obviously a spark to where we're living at this current moment. Also, the other thing that I was saying is that what the minister should have done is at least to listen to the community before they do their deployments, to hear what is it that we want. We asked them to close the area down. We asked them to do a door-to-door search. And this is now the 4th time I'm saying this. Since 2017, I was asking for the very, 2016 in fact, I was asking for the very same thing, and that's me personally. And as I'm saying to you, that there's still a lot of firearms in the area. There's still a lot of drugs in the area. Some of these police come in and they start dealing with the people. That is what I can guarantee you is happening.
So as a community, I mean, what's next? You know, do you feel that perhaps the police have let you down, or are you saying that, you know, they need to up their game as far as this is concerned?
You know, when I called General Marshall the other day, just after the shooting, I asked how is it possible that we can be in this very same situation again? And his response to me was, I will find out and I will come back to you. They had a briefing the following morning. I don't know what was the outcome of that. At the end of the day, Manqoba, I feel as though, you know, all these things becomes in vain. It just becomes a vain situation because I'm not safe, you're not safe. Whoever comes into the area is not safe. Our own people that is here is not safe. So it means that I honestly don't take the word from the minister, and I don't take the word from the police because they can't do what.
Do you feel let down though by the minister?
Most certainly, most certainly. You know, I was watching one of the videos that where the EFF had a thing with the police on the main road, and how they were jumping on them, how they were fighting them, how they literally jumped with those boots on the people. I'm asking, when you come into the area, is that what you are called to do or to clean up our area? No, we're not asking you to hit people. What we are asking you is to come in and do your work. Come in and do what the community wants. And then we can speak. For now, I don't have anything to say to the police because it's disappointing. It doesn't mean that we're still going to stay at the same spot, whereas others are still we're going to still have mothers crying for their kids. Are we never going to move from this, or are we going to remain here? This is obviously what we look like now.
Do you think that the police will ever help in fighting the gang wars and the drug issues here in this community? Do you have any hope left? And, you know, what do you think should be done?
If they listen to the community, it will help. If they listen, we live here. We live here. Listen to us when we tell you what is it that we want. Then it is easier. Please don't tell us to go and give statements and all that because people don't feel safe, because they can't trust the police. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So they can come out and they can give a statement, but are they safe thereafter? Are they really safe? Because there's all these programs that the police have for people that would stand as a witness, but are they safe at the end of the day? Because I've seen so many, we've had many interviews and where people were shot, and when you go back to the history of that person, then you can find that this person was actually a witness in some case. So that obviously means that our people aren't safe. One, is there information that the police is giving them? I'm just questioning and asking that. Is there perhaps a situation where the police is giving information to the other person to say that this is the witness, let him go?
So you're saying that people are still not feeling safe at all?
No, not at all. Our people aren't safe. We are not.
Thank you, Jefferson, for speaking to us. Well, that is Jefferson Johnson, one of the community leaders. As you can hear, Mfundo, the community here, you know, saying that, you know, despite all of the promises that have been made, they still see police. Some of them, when you speak to them, will tell you that they don't see police vans at all here in this community. They don't feel the presence of the police, the boots on the ground here in this community. And so they're saying that even now, Mfundo, they still fear for their lives in this community amid, of course, some of the shootings that have happened. And as you heard, Jefferson, they're saying that even last night there were shootings that were heard here in the community. But we still get to get more details from the police as far as that is concerned and the deployment in this particular area.
But it's honestly very disturbing. But at the very least, we'll be speaking to the South African Human Rights Commission in just a moment around safety and security. And we'll pose the question around Westbury and the form of recourse they can have if there's any way they can force the police to actually come back and ensure that they're safe in that community. But thank you very much for that update. That's our reporter, Manqoba Mchunu. More news on